Hello, and well, we're live. Someone else is supposed to join me on this cast, but they are currently running a little bit behind schedule. So I said, nah, I'll get started and get that out the way, get the ball rolling. So today, this is the BS Busters Spoilercast. We'll also talk about a little bit of the news of the week. Which obviously is that direct that everyone lost their minds about. Well, not really. It was a mini direct. It really was mini. So, without much ado, let's get into it. I guess we'll do the news of the week first. So, let me go and get some of the news of the week first. I'm going to use Polygon, even though I don't like using Polygon. Or maybe IGN. Yeah, why not? IGN or Ignorant. So, this week wasn't really the biggest week for gaming. I mean, basically, we had essentially nothing big happened this week except for the mini direct, which, I mean, you know, to me, the mini direct wasn't really that, how can I put this? The mini direct wasn't that big of a deal to me. Here, I'll show you why in a second. So, I'll show you what I mean. So here's the recap. Basically, Dark Souls Remastered. Oh man, if I didn't already have that on PC, I'd care. Mario Tennis Aces, which I'm guessing is kind of a port of the Wii U Mario Tennis, except with a story mode added on, because I don't know why they keep on dropping the ball on that one. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, another port of a game that I already have, but they added Funky Kong, and I guess that's a cool thing. I mean, you know, to me, it depends on how expensive this game is. If it's a $50 game like the other one, then it's like if you already have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, is $50 worth paying for, you know, essentially one extra character. Depends, you know, what you like. Kirby Star Allies looks cool. It comes out March 16th. I'm looking forward to it. The World Ends With You Final Remix, another port of a game that I have on my DS. Well, I play on my 3DS. I got it for my DS, but whatever. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, another port. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. If I hadn't already pre-ordered that through Steam, I might care. Payday 2, I already have that game. I already got that game for free for Steam. And I know they're like, well, we have an extra character added, but I already got it for free on Steam. So, yeah, fee. It's from EA, so fuck that game. It might be a good game, but it's from EA, so I'm not buying it. Celeste, That looks cool. I'll probably get that. Game updates. Super Mario Odyssey. There's a new mini game called Balloon World, and I'm like, okay, so basically you get balloons and you can hide it, and then in the mode where called Find It, you get to find the balloon that someone hid, or you can flip that around and be the person hiding the balloon, and someone has to find it, or you can be the person who finds it, whatever. I'm like, and they added like 3 new outfits, and I'm like, that's cool, but wouldn't it have been better just to like make Luigi a playable character? Just saying. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That's cool. It has Donkey Kong as a playable character. And you can get it individually or as part of the season pass or the gold edition of the game, which included the season pass. So it's the same damn thing. Pokken Tournament DX Battle Pack. Okay, so Pokken Tournament DX is supposed to be the complete and total game, and yet they're releasing more shit. They're charging you like $19 or whatever for more. This is just, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't. No, fuck you, Namco Bandai. And then we have the demos, Kirby Battle Royale, which I guess is a good thing. I don't know. I haven't downloaded this, so I don't know. Dragon Quest Builders. I got the demo. It's okay. I would rather have a Dragon Quest game rather than, a demo of a Dragon Quest spinoff. But I've been good with supporting Dragon Quest spinoffs on 3DS, on Nintendo systems, because I have Rocket Slime. I imported Rocket Slime 2 and 3. I have Dragon Quest Swords, which was the Wii waggle shit done in the Dragon Quest style for the Wii. I've put a lot of time and energy into Dragon Quest. So overall, you have to ask yourself, are these things worth it? Are these worth it? And oh snap, we're joined by the other. How's it going, Joel?
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
And if anything, I'm sorry I'm a little late, but then again, I had dinner.
No, that's okay. I'm eating my dinner right now. I had some leftover turkey that I brined, and I then cut it into like almost deli slices. And then I had some bacon that I made earlier today, and I was like, I'll make myself a BLT with roast turkey.
We're getting into food wars territory, ladies and gentlemen, with that one, but I think this is supposed to be a Xenoblade podcast.
Well, yeah, I was going to segue into that, but first I was going over the Nintendo Direct Mini.
Oh, that. Oh, God, the sodium.
Well, I just said that basically most of what they announced really didn't do anything for me. Because most of it was stuff that I already had on the Wii U, so it was like,
I'm a little mixed on that as well, but then again, I saw a few things that were fresh and, pardon my squid pun there, and I actually liked one of them that's coming soon. Well, on March, that is.
Well, okay, Kirby looked interesting.
That's the one.
Yeah, Kirby looked interesting, but it's Kirby. Kirby almost always looks interesting. Come hell or high water, he always looks cool. And that's just the way it is. I know some people are gonna get mad. What else looked kind of interesting?
The quote unquote hardest game in the gaming world is coming to the Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, I already have that game on PC, so it's like, man.
As I said, that game doesn't interest me really, but I actually don't mind seeing how people react to it.
I'm glad that I'm glad that there are people who haven't played it before and only buy Nintendo consoles, although that's a very small minority, have access to that game now.
Me.
Yeah. But as someone who has multiple consoles and a gaming PC, it's like, don't care. I mean, Dark Souls, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I want to know how much they're charging for the remaster, because if it's more than $30, that's going to be a hard sell.
Knowing how we get it usually, it's going to be a 60.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, there was just nothing that really made me go, "Wow, I love this! I love the Nintendo Direct. It's really bringing everything together for me." It didn't really do
To be
anything
honest
for
with
me.
you, I consider it what it is. It's tiny, but it has at least something in it.
Yeah, something for everybody. Like for me, there's only 3 games that interested me. It was Mario Tennis Aces, because it actually has a story mode. The only thing is that it has a story mode, because the last Mario Tennis didn't, which I'm like, oh,
I was about to say
effing
probably
up on.
because it was needed in a hurry.
I don't know. I mean, Camelot's been messing up because the last few Camelot games didn't have story modes. Like Mario Tennis on the 3DS didn't have. Star Tour didn't have a story mode. It was just like, we'll just do whatever. I'm like, you fucking up, Camelot. And here's the thing. I know Camelot can do better because I've seen them do better. You know?
Yeah. And the worst thing is I actually own a few of those games that you said. Basically the Mario Party handhelds.
Yeah, no. I had to drop Mario Party after 4.
I dropped it after 8, so I got more faith.
No, it's just because after a certain point, I was like, I would rather play a real board game than a digital one. Even with my favorite Mario characters, it just wasn't like I'd rather play Mario Monopoly, or the Mario Candyland. You ever played that?
You're squidding me.
No,
right?
there's a Mario Candyland, except it changes all of the instead of it being Candyland, it's called Super Mario Land, but it's like the Candyland theme. It's really rare. Like I got mine. I didn't get the original print run. I got a second print run. And it was like, even then it was like $40 for like what is normally like a $20 game. But it replaces it replaces all the stuff. It's like with dinosaur
colors,
stuff.
spaces, and locations.
Yeah, the pieces are Mario characters, and the lands are based off a world in like Dinosaur Land, so it's not that much of a stretch, because Dinosaur Land had the vanilla flats and the chocolate dome and stuff like that. So it wasn't that much of a stretch, but still, it's just a nice little, and like the little illustrations and stuff are all like Super Mario World stuff. I enjoy it. It's a fun little game. Like I'd rather play that than actual Mario Party with mini games that just destroy your hand.
Believe it or not, since Mario Party 5, they have been getting kinder on the controller, but I'll just say this: it'll still make you play those luck mini games. So be ready for any of those. And since I'm only with the handhelds right now, thanks to Mario Party 9 BS, I at least could tell you that they still support local play and playing with others, but I can hear the complaints already. Where's my online play?
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. Just for me personally, it doesn't really do anything for me, but that's just my own little. That's my own little.
Great.
Like just Mario Party doesn't do anything for me anymore. Like it used to. It doesn't anymore. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, Mario Party. I'm like, I'd rather play an actual board game or a real tabletop game than Mario Party.
The closest thing I got to people playing board games with me is the Mario Party series. So I kind of have to swallow that.
Yeah, that's your substitute. Yeah, and look, it is what it is. Everyone has their own favorite thing, but the Direct, I mean, basically, aside from Mario Tennis, Aces, and Kirby, like, and I think the demo for Dragon Quest Builders, which I downloaded that for my Switch, and
I haven't.
God, like, here's the thing, it's not bad, but it makes me want to play a real Dragon Quest game versus Square Enix's attempt to cash in on the Minecraft craze with a Minecraft knockoff, except using Dragon Quest IP.
Reason why I'm not with that BS. Besides, if they could try to make Minecraft with an RPG game, they could have built a real RPG game.
Yeah, that's basically how I feel. But this is Square Enix we're talking about. How to run a company badly. That's Square Enix. So without much ado, I guess we can segue into the second half of this podcast, which is Xenoblade Chronicles spoilers. Yes. We have
and
spoilers.
Before we begin on this, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and want to keep from being spoiled, the exit is on your upper right corner or your upper left.
Yeah, or if you just don't care about spoilers. Metal Mint says, I feel like this mini direct shows that people love to complain about everything. I mean, I'm not really complaining. I mean, people are complaining, but I mean, here's the thing. There's valid complaints and then there are invalid complaints. If you're someone like me who has most of these games that they're porting already.
I was going to say, that would be criticism and salt, wouldn't it?
Like, you have a valid complaint. Because, especially because we know Nintendo isn't going to discount any of these ports that they're bringing over. So it's like, okay, you want to charge me $50 for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze with one extra character. Fuck you. that's a valid complaint.
A real valid complaint. One new extra character that is OP as F you out the door.
Not even that. It's not the merits of the character. It's the fact that they ported an entire game over and they're charging full price for it with one extra character. So basically, if you already have Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, they're charging you $50 for a DLC character. You see, that's how I'm viewing it. I'm like, okay, I have Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You're charging me this. Fuck you. That's basically I'm not doing it. I'm not playing that game. Not for a game that I already own. And I know Nintendo's a company. They exist to make money, but this is
not one of the smarter ways.
I mean, I would rather them just put the game on the 3DS. Like they did with the original Donkey Kong Returns. Because then they could have charged like $39.99 I would have got that game no problem because it's $40. That's still $10 cheaper than it was on the Wii U. Yeah, you're still getting kind of a bargain. But $50 for a game that I already have for one extra character? Shit. That's insane. And I mean, that's a valid thing. For people who never had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, this is a good way to play that game because it's a good game. It's solid. It doesn't quite play as tightly as the original Donkey Kong Country games, but I mean, that's a tall order because you're talking about Rareware when they were at the top of their game. And Rareware, when they were at the top of their game, came incredibly close to rivaling Nintendo.
Yeah. Though, if anything, they lost their polish, and then they got bought by one of the few companies that turns good into carp.
Yeah. Microsoft, they have the reverse Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to shit. But yeah, I mean, I can legitimately say that if you, in my humble opinion, this is just my opinion, but Super Mario World is one of the best 2D platformers Nintendo did during the 16-bit era. I would say that you could stack Donkey Kong Country next to Super Mario World. It's a better platformer.
Arguably a better platformer.
Well, the only reason I say that is because the rhythm that you get from, like Super Mario World rewarded you for figuring out ingenious ways of getting around stuff. In Donkey Kong Country, you didn't really have that option. You had to
I was about to
basically,
say, they reward you on precision, while
yeah,
Mario rewards you on discovery.
yeah, and so basically, like if you wanted to get that rare area, you had to learn how to uncover that by basically not killing this enemy, hitting this enemy to bounce off this enemy in order to hit this pothole to uncover a rubber tire, roll the rubber tire down here to jump on it in order to get, like, there was a lot of stuff, like you had to really have precision down in order to play Donkey Kong Country. And the sequel to Super Mario World, Nintendo tried to fool people, but it was really just Yoshi's Island, which was an entirely new franchise. I would say Yoshi's Island is a good game, but in terms of like just sheer platforming, I don't think it holds a candle to Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest.
I was about to say, if you're comparing apples to apples of sorts, as in 1 and 2,
well, like a platformer.
I was saying, as far as platformers go,
yeah,
the Donkey Kong Country and Mario Land would be kind of tied to each other, while DKC2 would likely be overshadowing Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, I think that's a better. In terms of just a sheer platformer, it's a better platformer. Now, Yoshi's Island, for experimentation, what they did with the graphics and some of the gameplay mechanics, and throwing eggs and stuff, that was cool. But just in terms of sheer platforming, because Donkey Kong Country 2 is really, Donkey Kong Country is a really good platformer. But Donkey Kong Country 2 is better than Donkey Kong Country. Like, in terms of platforming, it's a better platform, it's like, how did you top this? They did the sequel, and it's like, the sequel's even better than the original. Which is hard to do.
Probably why it has a 101 completion.
Well, the first game had a 101, but in order to do it, it was like there was this one area that there was this one bonus area you had to clear. That
5 times in a row?
No. You didn't have to clear it 5 times in a row, but it was a really awkward. There was a bug in the code, so in order for you to clear it, you couldn't go back to that level. Like the first time you went to that level, you had to find the bonus level. If you went back, it wouldn't count. You get what I'm saying? So
that's evil.
Yeah, well, it was a bug in the code. It was a bug in the code. Although I just like the lore that Rare managed to build up. That Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is Junior. Is Donkey Kong
or grandson?
Well, no, because like basically Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is his son. Diddy Kong was supposed to be Junior, but they were like, he looks so radically different from Junior, so they just said Donkey Kong's the grown up son. Wrinkly Kong, who's dead now. That's sad. Donkey Kong's mom. That's sad. His mom's dead. That's so sad. But yeah, it's just, I like how they built this whole lore up, and how Cranky Kong's always talking shit. He's like, back in my day, I would have beat this game in 30 minutes.
What a prick.
But the sad thing is that he he actually becomes a playable character. He turns out to be really badass. It's like, wow, he probably could beat this game in 30 minutes.
As I said, he's a prick, but he's one prick that you don't want to mess with.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I'll beat you with my cane. His pimp cane.
And the funny thing is, he went from being chairbound to standing on sticks to being able to challenge you to a game of throwing to hitting targets in DK3.
Yeah.
To bouncing on a pogo stick and doing potions.
Yeah. And cutting scratching a mean record on a turntable. I'd love to see Retro tackle. Metalman says, I'd love to see Retro tackle a new 3D Donkey Kong game. Yeah, I would too. If they made a Donkey Kong game using that Mario Odyssey engine,
Oh, mm, there's gonna be some tight beeping platforming that hopefully you could do better than DK64.
not that. I mean, unlike some other people who have appeared on this podcast who just shit all over that game, I actually like Donkey Kong Country 64.
I like Donkey Kong Country 64, but there's that caveat that let me just say some of those mini games and are beep and
they took the collectathon too far. Fair enough. I will totally agree with that. However, the idea behind Donkey Kong Country 64, the vast open world, the bosses, how the Kongs had different abilities that actually made them feel different from one another.
That I loved.
In the sense of visual humor, I actually like that. I would love to see a game of that caliber again. A huge, or hell, even better. What if they made a Donkey Kong game using the Breath of the Wild engine with destructible environments?
I think I'd go with the Odyssey one.
Okay, fair enough.
Besides, I'm not sure how much of a strain it will be on the game engines to try to render all that.
I don't know. I mean, you basically. I mean, the only thing is that if they did a Breath of the Wild style engine, you'd have a very small selection of enemies and just a lot of palette swaps. Whereas with Odyssey, they had a lot of different enemies, like the same enemy models for a lot of the enemies, but they looked different. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, which do you want? You know, I mean, they're Kremlings, and Kremlings have always come in different colors and junk. So it's not really. And bring back the Kremlings. I'm tired. The masks and the seals were nice. Bring back King K. Rool and the Kremlings. Okay, with the puns with Kalump and Karusha and Crunch.
I miss the Kremlins too, but I at least wait until they show the villains before complaining. But you're right. The seals, they're an interesting bunch. The masks, they're an interesting bunch. Put them together with K. Rool, Donkey Kong's gonna have a headache.
I just want to bring them back. Like, the masks were fun. The seals were fun, but bring back the original villain. Come on, just do it. Just matter of fact, if you really want to mix it up, have like 4 playable Kongs, and then add 3 Kremlings as playable characters.
You're going to convince multiplayer with that kind of idea.
That's okay. Because let's not forget, back in the day, Rare put multiplayer in everything, and it was like the multiplayer in most of their games were oddly good. It's like Conker's Bad Fur Day, solid single player game.
I remember multiplayer being both co-op and competitive in the Donkey Kong series.
Yeah, but I mean, in Donkey Kong Country 64, they actually had a multiplayer component where you could basically, you know,
blast some Kong up.
Yep. Bring that back. When it's a first-person shooter and people just shooting each other, beating each other up, throwing.
That I actually would compare it to Banjo-Tooie's multiplayer, but I get you on that.
Well, yeah, made by Rare. Like, Rare would sneak multiplayer into games. It's like, yeah, this doesn't need a multiplayer. And then you'd play the multiplayer. It's like, this is oddly good. Like, Conker's Bad Fur Day multiplayer was oddly really good. It's like, this is better than it has any business being. You know? This should suck, but it's fun. So, yeah, I would love to see another Donkey Kong Country open world 3D Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
Retro could add vehicles and it wouldn't suck like Banjo Nuts and Bolts.
Good one.
As a matter of fact, they kind of had vehicles in Donkey Kong 64, except they were called the Animal Friends. Like, Like Diddy
Yeah,
Kong
and they did
could
stuff.
use his jetpack. Donkey Kong could turn into a rhino.
One
Lanky
could turn into
Kong.
a fish.
Lanky Kong would turn into a fish. Well, not really a fish. He turned into On Guard. They basically they turn into the animal friends from previous games. So Donkey Kong would turn into Rambi, the rhino, who was friggin' awesome. Diddy Kong would turn into he just had his jetpack. It's sad. They could have brought back Espresso. They could have turned Diddy into Espresso, give him a little that little hat he has.
Sadly, we only are down to 2 animal friends with the Donkey Kong series.
Yeah. Squawks the parrot. They could have brought those characters back, those bastards. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down with that. I mean, here's the thing. It's not that vehicles in an open world game are messed up. It's how you implement it.
As in the controls.
Well, not just that. It's just how it's implemented. Like, okay, if they did an open world Donkey Kong game that was so massive that, yeah, you could kind of walk there, but, like, let's say you could walk there or swing from vine to vine or defeat enemies, or maybe at some point you unlock a train, like you take a train there, or you could switch over to Diddy Kong and get in a jetpack and fly over there.
The option, right?
Yeah, give people options on how to traverse the environment. Kind of like how Mario Odyssey gives you options. It's like, well, I could use a jet flower and fly and run up this hill, or I could just, take over one of these tanks and drive up it. Or I could take over one of those lizards that can glide over there. Like there's multiple ways to traverse the world in Mario Odyssey, which I like. Especially once it opens up. Like maybe they have a set piece they want to get you to, but that's enough about Mario Odyssey. We're going too far into it. So let's get to the spoiler. If you have any questions that you want help with, put it in the comments, or not in the comment section, in the chat section, and I'll try to answer them. I'm looking at the chat, so if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. So without much ado,
let's get spoiling.
Let's get to spoiling. So basically, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, not X. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, to me, this is just my own personal opinion, plays out like the best. It plays out like Molosoft's best works combined, right? It plays like Chrono Trigger, Baten Kaitos, and ironically, Golden Sun had a baby. Like they went to Las Vegas for some freaky deaky weekend, got really drunk, really high, really horny.
And whatever happened to that hotel? Wild.
Yeah, things got a little freaky deaky, and 9 months later, the 3 of them combined had a baby, and that baby was in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because that's what it feels like. It's got the combat system of the original Xenoblade Chronicles, although refined a little bit. The combat system isn't quite as good as what they had in X. Sorry for people who, because in X you could aim for individual body parts. You could set up conditions that basically like bounce stuff back on the enemies. I mean, like it's not quite as refined in this game, at least not that I'm aware of.
It's more focused, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's more generalized. It's more casualized. Here's the thing. It's more casualized as far as compared to what X was. This game is a JRPG, and it's made by the masters, I'd say, of JRPGs. So even though it's casualized to me as someone who's been playing JRPGs for years, if you're Joe Blow, average gamer, it's probably very complex for you. So what's casual for you might not be casual for me. So, and what's casual for me definitely won't be casual for you if you're a casual gamer. So if you're a casual gamer, you're going to find the combat system to have enough complexity.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, it'll have enough complexity to make you feel like when you've begun to master it, you're kicking ass and taking names. Daniel Reza says, I liked X best. Fair enough. To tell you the truth, in terms of the combat system and how the missions were done, I liked X's missions a little bit better, and I liked the combat a lot better. I liked how missions you did in X had more of an impact on the world itself. Now, you do kind of get that here, but it's not quite as pronounced. But, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, but so basically, getting back on with the spoilers, basically the game plays out like those 3 games put together. Like I said, it has a refined combat system from the original Xenoblade Chronicles. It has the way enemies are placed in their behaviors and how they look and are designed. It's not a 1-for-1, but it's very similar to enemies from Chrono Trigger. I swear to God, a lot of these enemies are so similar to Chrono Trigger enemies. You're like,
I was
really?
going to say, sequels usually could pull this off, but it depends on how well talented they are.
I mean, really, playing this game just makes me wish Square Enix would pull their heads from out of their asses and just make a Chrono Trigger 2. Because here's the thing. Monolith Soft has given you the blueprint. And here's the thing. All you have to do is just go to Nintendo and say, look, we've been fucking up for years. We know we've been fucking up. So here's what we're going to do. You guys can publish the game. We want Monolith Soft to make it because we don't have the talent to make RPGs these days. They can make it. Chrono Trigger 2. We'll get the character design from Armorbird Studios, the people who did the enemy design and character design from Chrono Trigger back in the day. We'll get because the dude who did the music for Chrono Trigger did the music for this game, which is why a lot of the tunes. Sweet. Yeah, you're like Yasunori Wada. And I'm listening to the music and I'm like, this music is really good. It's really appropriate for where I'm at right now. I wonder who did this music. And then I look it up. I'm like, oh shit, it's Yasunori Wada. It's the guy who did the music for Chrono Trigger. That's why this game is giving me Chrono Trigger vibes. The combat and the music. The only thing is, I really do wish that Armorbird Studio did the character design because, I mean, I don't know. It would have looked a lot better. You can see from how the enemies attack, how your blades do their special attacks. It's very Chrono Trigger-esque. And I'm just, man, if this only had Akira Toriyama's Armorbird Studios art style, this would be Chrono Trigger 2.
That I can understand if I'm getting you right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a Chrono Trigger fanboy, so. I am a Chrono Trigger fanboy. Plus the scales. I can't tell if the story in 2 is better than 1 or if it just tells its story better than 1 did.
Story's always been the complex call in RPG games.
Well, since this is a Spoilercast, Xenoblade 2 is a sequel to X. I mean, not to X, to the first Xenoblade. The main, the architect in Xenoblade, the guy who basically set off the machine that rebuilt the world and created Bionis and Maconis, Klaus, who eventually part of him would split off and become Zanza. Yeah, he's the architect in this game. So really, and like this game is happening time-wise simultaneously at the same time as the end events of Xenoblade, the first one, where you kill Zanza.
Short, we're picking up near the end of one story and begin another.
Well, not just no. The ending of the game, like both endings happen at the same time. Like basically, if you played Xenoblade 1 and beat it, and you kill Zanza, when you kill Zanza, is the same time that a mortal blow is struck on the architect of this world. And he's dying, so basically he's like he basically starts the final sequence to fix the world that was broken, because he's the guy, like he's guilt ridden because basically he's the guy who wouldn't let people in to the space station when the Earth ended. Like he's the guy who's like, yeah, I can't let you in here, and he like turned everything off. and then he basically split a series of he created a series of alternate universes, and so basically one alternate universe became it's implied became the Xenoblade X universe. Another one became the Xenoblade universe, where his alter ego became Zanza. And then in this one, the one in Xenoblade 2, that's the one with all the titans and stuff. But notice in all of these, they're titans. They're these massive creatures, that people live on. But Daniel Reza says Xenoblade 2 is my favorite Switch game so far. And he says smell and sound trigger memories. I have to say, I won't say it's my favorite Switch game. I will say it's my favorite JRPG of 2017. This game is so much better than Final Fantasy 15. It's not even funny. And this is just my opinion. I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, oh, well, that's just your opinion. And you're right. It is my opinion. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. But yeah, it's really good. So anyone have any questions? Any questions about how to get better blades? None? Okay then. So we'll keep on moving. But yeah, the game is really good. Like I said, it's a little bit more casual than what we got in Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is sad because, I thought X was perfect. I missed the scales, but,
I was about to say your Zords.
No, because basically there were some enemies in the game that were so powerful that you kind of needed, and there are kind of like mechs in this game that are kind of like, they look very similar to Skells, but you can't pilot any of them. You can't pilot any of them. Like I remember Pinky Don was like, yeah, man, I like that mech that Mithra and Pyrrha have. I'm like, yeah, you don't get to pilot that mech ever. You never get to pilot that mech in the game. As a matter of fact, you destroy that mech at the end of the game. You fuck that mech up. I mean, it's pretty damn bad. But anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. So I guess I can get on with some more spoilers. Well, let's see.
I know you talked about the combat. You talked about some of the story, I think.
Yeah, well, I told everyone the ending of the story. Basically, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but what I will say is this: the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is almost identical to the ending of Baten Kaitos. It's kind of fucked up, really. It really is kind of fucked up. As a matter of fact, it absolutely sucks, but not the ending. It sucks that the ending is almost exactly like the ending from Baten Kaitos. However, most gamers wouldn't know about that because a lot of people didn't play Baten Kaitos or beat it. If they played it, they didn't beat it because they were like, this story isn't that good.
Your mileage may vary on that one.
Well, some people said that. I mean, personally speaking, Baten Kaitos is one of my favorite JRPGs of the 6th gen. Like, I put it up there with Skies of Arcadia.
I like the concept of Baten Kaitos too. I mean, seriously, how the heck do you make make an RPG about deck building become fun.
Well, because basically they knew how to like. Here's what people don't understand: a good RPG doesn't have to be casualized in order to be good. Basically, drawing you into it as a gamer and making it so that you want to learn how to get better. You want to learn how to stretch things out. You want to learn how to get into the combat system is what makes it fun. Like making it so easy that that a brain dead person could press a button and play the game is not what makes an RPG fun. Now,
it's not per se to win.
Well, first person. Well, I mean that's what makes anything fun. Like nothing that people are good at, generally speaking, are they good at it day one. There's a learning curve. You have to get better at doing whatever it is you're doing. Like you have to get better at playing video games. You have to get better at writing papers. You have to get better at reading. Like no one is born and handed Dr. Seuss and says, "This shit's too simple. Give me War and Peace from Tolstoy." You know, no. War and Peace is
Of Mice and Men. I thought you were going there.
Tolstoy. Mice and Men is shit. I forgot the guy. Ulysses S. something. I forget. Give me the Count of Monte Cristo from by Alexander Dumas. I don't need a cat in the hat, motherfucker. Like no 5-year-old is gonna say that. Okay, so why in the world would you try and basically casualize everything, dumb everything down to its basic components? I'll never understand. But that's gaming today. Everyone, well, we need to make it easier. We need to lower the barrier to entry. And they lower it so much that it loses its essence of what it is, It's like, well, we don't have turn-based combat anymore. Oh, strategic combat. No. Just press this button.
Reason why I'm actually a grown hater about the Final Fantasy series after 12. I mean 12 and after.
Yeah. Metalmint says, I do miss the customization of X weapons and skills wise. You still have customization of weapons and skills in this game, but it's not nearly like it's almost the skill. The weapon customization is almost exactly the same. Although the skills, how you could basically pick and choose what skills you had, and what abilities you wanted your character to have and stuff. That was really cool. They kind of casualized it. It's like they took a step back. Like X was a little too far. So they took a step back and went back to refining what they had in the original Xenoblade, which is not a bad thing because that combat system was not that casual. But X was more core than casual. And Metalman also says, I hope they make a Xenoblade X2 and more Skell stuff. Me too, Metalman, me too. I think in a perfect world, they would essentially make a Xenoblade X2, raise the level cap to 150, maybe make it so that mechs weren't so damned expensive to replace when they break.
I was gonna say that or make insurance for them cheap as beep.
I thought the whole, oh man, your mech died, you gotta pay $300,000 to replace it. I'm like, man, fuck you. I'll just go get a new one. I don't even feel like replacing. Like I thought.
I was about to say
that was just
There's no such thing as insurance in that.
Well, there is insurance, but it only works for the first 5 times. Like after that, because basically that was the penalty for death. Like your penalty for death in Xenoblade Chronicles X wasn't, oh my god, I lost money, or oh my god, I lost my, it's game over. It was like, oh my god, my mech was destroyed, and now I have to get it replaced for like $300,000.
Thousands and thousands of bucks.
Yeah, that would wipe out your bank account. And that was like a lower end mech. Like once you got farther in the game, you could get mechs that were like 1.5 million. It was ridiculous. It was like, man, fuck this. It's like, no. I mean, that's why they had the whole thing in X where you could abandon your mech before it destroyed, so that, or it would dodge a fatal hit so that you could get out and keep on fighting. Because your mech, like once your mech, like I mean, you know, because if you were at that point where insurance didn't cover it anymore,
Eject is the best way to save your tail.
yeah, yeah, which is sad. It's like I look, kill me, but don't hurt the mech. It's like, basically how it felt.
That's wrong when your ride is more valued than your own rear end.
Basically, yeah. Making it simpler, cough. Final Fantasy 15, cough. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15, in my opinion, is what not to do for a JRPG.
Making them Hearts it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people love Kingdom Hearts. I fucking hate that franchise. I hate it with a passion of 1,000 suns. I
I love the story of it. So.
I just hate that game. Like and people are gonna get mad at me when I say this, but I don't really care. The reason I hate Final Fantasy 15 is because, or the reason I hate Kingdom Hearts is because
they stopped making sense.
No, it never really made sense. But the reason I hate it is because, like, basically, Squaresoft got the rights to make a JRPG using Disney IPs, and instead of doing that, they made this stupid ass shit, which is how I feel about it.
They went from a potential RPG featuring Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and several characters of the Final Fantasy series and turned it into an ARPG.
No, I don't even want Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts. Like, if I had my druthers, Kingdom Hearts, the title could exist, but it would just be a straight up JRPG with Disney characters. Like, maybe you could have some human kid who goes to the Magic Kingdom and finds out, yeah, Disneyland's actually real. There is really a magical kingdom. And he goes on an adventure into all these like Disney IP worlds. You know, maybe the first game he goes to like traditional Disney World IP worlds, like, you know, the 100-Acre Wood with Winnie the Pooh and
Wonderland,
and I would say Splashdown Mountain with Bear Rabbit. That shit's too racist, so no.
I was about to say, are you serious?
Zippity doo, fuck you, Uncle Remus. It's not good to be a slave, motherfucker.
Enough said.
But no. I was thinking maybe add the Jungle Book. You know, Chip and Dale, their traditional their park that they live in. Maybe have it culminate in the actual castle. That Disney castle. Maybe have a fight with some classical Disney boss, like the evil queen from Sleeping Beauty, the evil fairy queen. I forgot her name. Shit.
Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent. Yeah, maybe, and that would have been your Kingdom Hearts, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, you could have expanded it, made it maybe added like Disney Afternoon. Like, wouldn't it have been cool to like go to Cape Suzette and Duckburg from DuckTales and Cape Suzette from Tailspin and the Gummy Woods from Gummy Bears and hell, New York from Gargoyles. I mean, that's the game I want to play. This shit with this kid running around hitting people with a big ass key, and fuck that. I don't care. It's like, oh, this is so awesome.
And if anything, at least give the kid the chainsaw for peep's sake.
I don't know. Listening to people talk about Kingdom Hearts and like get in depth in the shit, it makes my head glaze over. It's like when I'm listening to quantum theory from people who know about it. I'm like,
seriously?
It's like
where's my notebook?
It's like my eyes. It's like my eye. It's like my mouth. It's like my tongue wants to roll. It's like my mouth wants to go backwards and eat my brain so I don't have to listen to this shit anymore. And here's the thing. I'm a relatively smart person. I took advanced physics in high school and college.
I'm taking computer I'm taking computer information scientist to learn how to program at times.
But
And this,
quantum physics, I'm just like,
and this is a and this is a brain wrecker at times.
like, my brain wants to eat itself.
Especially with all the retcon BS.
It's not even the retcons. It's just listening. Like, I'm like, it's just a shitty action RPG. This is not a
I
deep
know,
game.
but I was saying that it doesn't help that they retcon things.
This is not a deep game. It really isn't.
It's almost like Final Fight made for kids.
Yeah, but at least Final Fight's fun.
Oh.
I mean, really. A game where the mayor of a city's daughter is kidnapped. Instead of calling the police and the SWAT team,
he goes out
FBI.
to the end.
He tells the law-abiding citizens in the city, look, get off the streets. Oh, and before you do, order tons of pizzas, make hams and turkeys, and put them in garbage cans and leave them outside. Me, my daughter's boyfriend, and his friend are going to clean up this town in one night. And then basically just go around beating the shit out of every thug on the street. Now, that's a fun concept.
Only the bold would apply for that job.
You know, Mayor Mike Haggard just going around beating the shit out of everybody. Just everybody, corrupt cops, gangbangers,
I was
some
going to
poor
say,
bastard sitting on the subway.
And to think, he's a professional wrestler.
Yes, but he's also the city's chief executive, Mayor Mike Haggard. I'm just saying, that's a fun concept. But here's the concept of Kingdom Hearts. A young boy, at least initially, before they added all this extra fucking backstory because it's Square Enix and they can't do a simple story to save their fucking lives, bunch of douchebags. But a young boy is trying to find his girlfriend and his other friend. And he does this by using a massive key mace along with Donald Duck and Mick and Goofy. That's it. They go around beating the shit out of shadow monsters with a giant key.
And to think those are supposed to be kid-friendly zombies.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't keep up with this fucking story. But anyway, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, in my opinion, not a very good franchise. I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 is really going to do that well because people have been waiting 10 years for the fucking game.
I was about to say, they've been waiting as long as people are waiting for Half-Life 3.
Or Final Fantasy 15. Actually longer because people were expecting Kingdom Hearts 2 a year after Kingdom Hearts 3 a year after Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. And it's been forever for them to make a Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I think they showed a little bit of footage and someone lost their mind. I don't know.
Did some questions come in?
Nope. So, with that being said, I think we've reached the end of this cast. A little bit shorter than usual. Normally we go an hour and a half, but this one's under an hour, so.
Yeah.
Or a little bit over an hour, whatever. So, any other topics you'd like to discuss before we wrap things up?
Oh, I remembered what I was saying earlier that Valve finally made a new game, and it pissed the masses off tremendously.
What is it? One of their card games with loot boxes and shit?
Artifact, the Dota card game.
Okay.
And in relation to this is actually bugging me a lot because people are already hating on loot boxes, so people getting real burned on trading card games and collectible card games. That kind of hurts me in a sense because I actually enjoy card games to a point.
It's not that I don't like card games. It's that I can't say this. I can't get upset about people being mad about, like, I don't, actually, I take that back. I don't understand why people are upset about people, like, because, I mean, did anyone actually think Valve was going to make a Half-Life 3?
To be honest with you, I was wondering what the world are they doing when they're losing so many good people of staff. Apparently, they crafted card games.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, because when your ship is almost standing still and it gets punctured in some weird way, what's the first thing you do? Oh, we're gonna show off this awesome new mini boat, capable of saving a few lives at a time.
I just don't. I don't see the point. I don't see the point of getting upset about Valve not doing something, because Valve is going to do whatever the hell they want to do whatever that makes them money. Like, you're not going to get a Portal 3, you're not going to get a Half-Life 3 because Valve can't count to 3.
Sorry, that was a classic line.
If Valve were serious, if they were truly serious, if they actually gave a shit about their consumer base, they would go, look.
They go to 3.
They would go, okay, we know it's been years, so here's what we're going to do. We're putting a team together. We've got the script, because Half-Life is more than just a first-person shooter. It tells a story. Like, and people hate, I mean, I'm going to go into some innuendo here, but it's fair. People hate being left without a satisfying climax. No one wants to be left
on the cliffhanger,
just right there on the precipice of something wonderful happening with no relief. Okay,
they don't want to be blue balled.
Okay, they don't want to just be sitting there. Come on, man. Basically, what Valve has done, leaving people with a total cliffhanger about what happens to Alex Gordon and that girl and those people of Earth.
They left so many people with blue balls.
It's like when you have a dog, right? You have a dog and you scratch your dog's stomach and they're really into it. They're really, really into it.
They're so happy, and then you stop.
And your arm gets tired.
And they just look at you like, seriously?
Yeah,
how is that the best part?
Why? Why would you do that? I mean, it's like, but my arm was getting tired. And basically, that's kind of like what Valve has been doing to gamers. When you leave a game on a cliffhanger like that, like, where are they gonna go? What's gonna happen? I hate that, and people don't seem to understand. Like, Valve doesn't even understand that is. Look, listen. At this point, I don't care. Even if you just get a indie team to do it, go get the people who did Shadow.
Shadow Motor.
No, not those douchebags. No. I have this game on Steam. Let me look it up real quick.
So, if anything, one of the complaints I've been hearing about Artifact is the fact that it's gonna end up being like Magic the Gathering, which I have to say, come on, people, at least wait and see how it's gonna play out.
No. Magic the Gathering has an actual following. No. Shadow Warrior. Why don't you get the people who make Shadow Warrior? Those people, Shadow Warrior is very much like Half-Life, especially Shadow Warrior 2. You're in a massive, there's orchestrated levels with stuff going down and gravity effects, and you're shooting monsters and shit. Why don't you get those? Why don't you just go to those people, Valve, and say, look, we'll give you a $25 million budget. Here's our engine, or you can use your own engine. I don't give a shit. Make Half-Life 3. Here's the script. Make it. Boom. I mean, at least finish the damn trilogy.
Yes.
Damn.
Stop leaving Stop leaving your gamers blue-balled.
Don't leave me hanging like that. Just don't tease me and get me all excited and just leave me hanging, you bastards. Although I don't really care because I never really was that into
Half-Life.
Well, I played it. Like I have Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. I have the new ones, the new ones that are done in the better engine. I have those 2 games as well. Because I got the orange box. I have these games. I played them. But the thing is that I just I have Portal 1 and 2. Here's what Valve doesn't understand, right? They have so much fucking money. Just do it. Even if you don't make money on it. Even if you do a modest budget. I was
gonna say
40 million.
They got so much coin in their pocket that it's starting to look like their pants are about to pop. At least lighten that load.
They're always talking about how, oh man, yeah, we care about consumers. Like I remember when Valve was trying to push the Steam box. Yeah, the Steam box is the future. The Steam box. I'm like, if you guys were really serious about the fucking Steam box, here's what you guys would have done. You would have done the Steam box. You know what exclusives it has? Exclusive to the Steam box for the first 2-3 years, whatever. PC in the Steam box. If you want to play this game on a console-like experience, you're gonna have to buy our Steam box. What game are we talking about? Half-Life 3. Portal 3.
You got games that the people will want to be on a console.
I guarantee you there are people who really want to play Half-Life 3. And for a limited time only, Half-Life 3, if you buy it within the first in the first 3 months, you'll get Half-Life 1 and 2 with plus episodes, plus the 2 episodes,
the definitive editions.
No, in Half-Life 2 there are these little side episodes. There's 2 of them. On the little side episodes. So you get these 2 little side episodes too. We'll give you all this Half-Life shit for free. Get Half-Life 3. The Steam box is $300. People will buy a Steam box just for Half-Life 3 and Portal 3 because Portal is built with the same engine. So
yeah, but apparently Valve can't count the 3. I'm sorry. That keeps on come up as a running joke. Even if it is so true. If anything, I at least gotta say that it's been fun at least talking to you about what we did and then some.
But anyway, no, here's a little bit of news that I just found out about. Apparently they just released news that somebody is working on a Nintendo Switch emulator.
I'm gonna say this. Seriously?
All I'm gonna say is this. I want to see that shit running games as well as my Switch can. Running Switch games as well as my Switch can. If it can't, then what's the fucking point? Just swallow your pride and spend your $300 and give Nintendo their money and buy the damn system.
Yeah, because as I said, seriously, you're trying to emulate some of the hardest well-crafted systems in the world that do not run on PC-like engines, and you're gonna try to say that version, that the emulation is better than the real thing. If you think that, there's the door. See yourself out. I'll see you when you actually can make some beeping sense.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know why people always want to friggin' emulate Nintendo shit.
I mean, there's other systems that you could try to emulate to see how they work.
Like, well, I just do it for fun. No, you don't, motherfucker. Because here's the thing: 90% of the people who are emulating, who emulate games, aren't doing it because they're curious about how games are designed or how the hardware is done. They're doing it because the bastards don't want to buy the damn system. I mean, let's just keep it real. Why are we skirting around the issue at hand?
I'm always letting these guys say what they're trying to do before we blow a hole in that ship.
They always say that. Well, the reason that
we are trying to emulate this console is that way we can show what better performance that can be done with the power of emulation.
So, I mean, I don't know.
The stupidity of some people trying to do emulation on a system that is just starting out.
But, you know, so they're like, yeah, we're working. I'm like, why? Look, listen. Okay, I get it. Most of these people make emulators and then open a Patreon saying, well, I'd like to spend more time working on this emulator so that you bastards who don't want to buy the console can play games illegally. But I don't really have the time or effort to do that. So if you could just kick me a few dollars here and there on Patreon or GoFundMe.
In short, greed on top of greed on top of greed.
So we're gonna create a device that's gonna make it easy for people to steal shit from a company. And look, Nintendo does fucked up shit all the time, but they don't deserve to have their have piracy made easy for them. And it's like, here's the thing: emulation is not a bad thing if it's for an old console that it's hard to get the hardware for. Like Joe Blow, you can't just go into a store and buy an NES or SNES or even an N64 or a GameCube that easily these days. Okay, so emulating one of those systems, I'm like, I can understand it.
But seriously, when it gets to the point of the Wii U, the Wii, and now the Switch,
yeah, you can still get unopened brand new Wiis. You can get used Wiis. You can get used Wii U's. You can get used. Well, I don't know about used Switches, but you can get a Switch.
Finding a used Switch is like finding a leprechaun.
You can get a Switch. I know people can get a Switch. So if someone comes up and says, "Wow, I want to try the game before I buy it and play it on a shitty emulator," really?
Have fun with virus detection, ladies and gentlemen.
But you know, and the thing is that, you know, the article itself isn't that bad. It's the dumpster fire in the comments section. I mean, you've got legitimate people like, look, listen, I really don't want to emulate the system. I'd rather just buy a Nintendo console and play the games on the console. No, man, I should be able to play this game in 4K with mods. Now, here's the thing. There is one game that I would love to play modded because some of the mods they put into the game. Breath of the Wild.
I'm looking at you like, really?
No, because Breath of the Wild, they in Breath of the Wild, they modded in Sweet and CJ from San Andreas, from GTA San Andreas, and they turned the the master cycle into a that was put into the game with the latest bit of DLC. They turned that into Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, that's just kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I wouldn't mind being able to mod in characters into Nintendo games. Like, wouldn't it be interesting to play a Metroid game where you can mod in, I don't know, the guy from Doom, the Doom guy, the old school Doom guy?
I hear you on some of that, though. I have to raise my eyebrow and say, really, because some games are not that pure to be tampered with. Like Legend of Zelda, it's pretty good. I can understand the mod, but a Samus game having the Doom guy, that's a bit out there for me.
Not really. If you play Doom 2016, it's basically a faster, more violent version of Metroid Prime. So, not that much of a jump. I'm just saying, like, I can understand why people would like to mod games and add new content and change stuff around. Like, one of my favorite games is Ash and the Legacy of Evil, which is a mod for Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Except they take out Link and put in Ash from the Evil Dead. It's, I mean, or the myriad of Mario game hacks. Like, I mean, I don't think games are so sacred they can't be hacked and you can add shit to them. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, this game's untouchable. Like, I found it hilarious when the Final Fantasy guys were like, if anyone puts in nude mods in Final Fantasy 15 when it comes on PC, we're just not gonna put it on PC. It's like, motherfucker, it's on PC. Once something goes to PC, you kind of
lost control of it entirely.
Well, not just that, you've opened the gates. Now people are gonna get creative, and I know people are gonna get mad, but that's just the way it is.
To that, I say, I know most games are moddable in a sense with that kind of line, but there are some games that just don't make sense when you mod them at times. But I can at least understand why some people want to do it.
But anyway, yeah, I'm not rolling with the hey man, let's mod. Like, I'm not down with. Look, listen, if people are legitimately, if you own a Switch and you decide to rip your own games and play them on your PC with an emulator, that's your business. If you don't own a Switch and you're downloading illegal ROMs so that you can play them on a system that just came out, that's the sad thing. I mean, the system just fucking came out, which is...
I was about to say, it's sad, it's illegal, and I hope that your run suffers for it in some unfortunate manner.
Even now, okay, if someone said, okay, we're coming out with a Wii U emulator, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, the Wii U's been over and done with for the last year and a half almost. Okay, fair enough. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But seriously, the Switch just came out. It literally just came out less than a year ago, like last March. So literally less than a year ago. Don't do it now. Come on.
They just won their 4K HD high definition graphics beep, strokes, and popped. Boy, are they low.
But so that's the end of this podcast. That news just popped up. So for those of you who listen to this after you've beaten Xenoblade Chronicles Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I keep on saying X, whatever. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Only because it's so stuck in your head.
I'm just going to call it Xenoblade 2 because if I keep on calling it Chronicles, Xenoblade 2, if you haven't played it, go and play that damn game. If you haven't beaten it, beat it. If you don't have it, get it. So, yeah. So that's the end of this video. enjoy. Arrivederci. Good night. I might have some videos come out later on this week. Anything you want to pimp out, Jewel?
Recently did my 2 cents of comparing boxes to packs, but but that's on video game facts right now. Other than that, I got 0. If you're wondering, it's comparing the loot boxes to booster packs, and it's probably not one of the best things I've done, but it's been a long while since I did the post on there, so I thought I'd at least try something.
Well, anyway, that's the end, and enjoy, have fun. Next week, the Sci-Fi Power Hour that was supposed to happen this week got moved to next week, so it's going to be the panelists and myself essentially talking about, if I remember correctly, look up the description because hell, even I forgot. Oh yes, it's gonna focus on highlighting 3 sci-fi IPs that we feel that people should get to know, and 3 that we feel that people should avoid.
The wanna watches and the evade at all costs podcast.
Basically, yeah, like things that people haven't heard of, like, hey, you should watch Black Mirror, and we'll give a little elevator speech and why we think you should watch it and blah blah blah, and that type of thing. So yeah, that's going to be fun next Saturday, and then we'll be doing another BS Busters. I don't know what it'll be about, but we'll be
hopefully
doing.
It'll not be anything stupid, but then again, there's always BS to find.
Is EA going to announce anything this upcoming week? So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know a lot of people are off tomorrow because it's MLK Day.
And one little thing before I forget.
Go ahead.
Popularity action, solo comedy, team comedy.
I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't play Splatoon this weekend.
Team comedy took down action in the important categories, while action just only got the popular vote.
Makes sense. So, what was I about? Oh yes, here's what I was about to say. Tomorrow's MLK Day. I know a lot of people are taking that as a day off. I would challenge you to use it as a day on and go do some type of service towards somebody else, because in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., anybody can be great because anybody can serve. So go help out at a homeless shelter,
and be sure to
let people
know that you care.
Yeah, do something to give back, because it's not just about you. That being said, enjoy. Good day, good arrivederci, and good night.
And be sure to beware of juices.